Welcome to Midnight Clues.
With Clara Monroe and Elias Gray.
So that's paperwork that's saying you gotta give up custody of your kid? Harmony.
I have to sign this.
No, just being served it. So you're gonna have to produce where all that, where your daughter's at. So we're gonna figure this out one way or another. It's not going away. It's gonna get really big real quick, and it's not gonna be good if we get on the wrong side of it. You know what I mean?
He's such a scumbag, man.
It's New Year's Eve 2021. Picture this. Police in Manchester, New Hampshire are face to face with a man named Adam Montgomery. They're not there about a party getting out of hand. They're there because his 5-year-old daughter is missing. And his reaction? Well, it's the start of an absolutely horrifying mystery. I just need to know that she's okay. That's what the police are pleading with them. But Adam's story? It's all over the place. One minute, he's swearing on his life that his daughter, Harmony, is perfectly fine. The next, he claims he has no clue where she is. It was obvious he was hiding a terrible, terrible secret.
And here's the thing that's just impossible to wrap your head around. No one had actually seen this little girl in 2 years. Not a few days, not a few weeks, 2 years. This wasn't a child who just wandered off. This was a child who had completely vanished while in the care of the very people who were now spinning this tangled web of lies. So, where did the search even begin?
So how in the world does a child go missing for 2 full years before an alarm is raised? Well, the person who finally sounded that alarm was Harmony's biological mother, Crystal Sorey. For years, she had been desperately trying to see her daughter, but Adam, who had full custody, had cut her off completely, blocked her on social media, on his phone, totally stonewalled her at every turn.
This timeline really reveals the heart of the tragedy. Just look at it. Crystal's last contact was a FaceTime call back in April of 2019. After one last official sighting in October, Harmony's just gone, a complete ghost. For 2 entire years, there is nothing. It's not until late 2021 that authorities even start looking into it. That gap, that's where everything went horribly wrong.
So when police finally track Adam down, living in a car, his story is a complete mess. He keeps telling officers, "I have nothing to say," but in the very next breath, he's swearing that Harmony is alive and well. Then, when they press him for where she is, he switches gears again, suddenly claiming he didn't even know she was missing. The contradictions were just a massive red flag for investigators.
Okay, so Adam's not talking sense. The police pivot. They turn to the only other person who might have the real story, his estranged wife, Kayla Montgomery. They're hoping for a breakthrough, right? But what she tells them, well, it only makes the mystery even deeper.
At first, it looks like they got their stories straight. Both Adam and Kayla tell almost the exact same tale. They both claim that right after Thanksgiving in 2019, Adam drove Harmony over to her mother Crystal's house and dropped her off. It sounded clean, simple, a perfect little story designed to make the police go away. But it was all a lie.
And here it is, the fatal flaw in their neat little story. Investigators knew, for a fact, that they were lying. Why? Because Crystal was the one who reported Harmony missing to begin with. She hadn't seen her daughter in years. And just like that, the police had them. They knew the story was a fabrication, and now they had all the leverage.
With that story completely falling apart, police make 2 really smart moves to start applying pressure. First, they arrest Adam on an old assault charge and for interfering with custody. Then they go after Kayla, arresting her for welfare fraud. Turns out she'd been collecting food stamps for Harmony long after the little girl was supposedly gone. They were squeezing them from both sides, just tightening that net. For a while, the case was just stalled. It was built on lies, contradictions, and circumstantial evidence. But investigators were holding on to one key piece of information, a detail from Kayla's own alibi that was about to blow the whole thing wide open and expose the horrifying truth.
So, remember Kayla's alibi. She claimed she was at her job at Dunkin' Donuts when Adam supposedly took Harmony to her mother's. So investigators did the simple thing. They checked her work records. The problem? Kayla had been fired a week before that. She wasn't at work, she couldn't have been at work. Her alibi was impossible and the police could prove it.
So now,
Kayla is cornered. She's facing a perjury charge that she absolutely cannot escape, and so she breaks. She finally agrees to cooperate with detectives and tell them what really happened. And the story she told, it was so much more disturbing than anyone could have possibly imagined.
According to Kayla, it all happened on December 7th, 2019. The family was homeless, living out of their car. She said Adam just flew into a rage because 5-year-old Harmony had a bathroom accident. He started punching her over and over until she went silent. When he realized she was dead, he put her tiny body into a duffel bag. For months, they lived with her remains, moving the bag from car trunks to apartment coolers, even to the ceiling vent of a family shelter, until Adam finally rented a U-Haul, got rid of her body, and came back to tell Kayla it's done.
3 months. Let that sink in. For 3 months, the entire family, including Harmony's 2 younger brothers, lived alongside her concealed body, hiding this terrible secret in plain sight as they move from place to place. It's just unimaginable.
So with Kayla's confession, prosecutors finally charge Adam with murder. But they're facing a huge uphill battle. Think about it. They had a witness who was an admitted liar, but they had no body, no murder weapon, and no traditional crime scene. The entire case was going to hinge on one question. Could a jury possibly believe Kayla Montgomery?
So in the courtroom, you have the prosecution building its entire case around Kayla's horrifying and very detailed testimony. They back it up with DNA evidence from that ceiling vent and the U-Haul, but the defense? They go with the truly wild strategy. They actually admit that Adam abused Harmony's corpse, but they argue it was Kayla who was the real killer. And their star piece of evidence? A letter that Kayla wrote herself.
So on the stand, the defense confronts Kayla with this letter she wrote. In it, she basically offers to testify against Adam in exchange for immunity and one last chance to be with him. The defense attorney pounces on this. He asks her, "You just wanted to be with him one last time before you betrayed him, right?" It was a stunning moment, all designed to paint her not as a terrified victim, but as a cold, manipulative liar.
So the jury is left with this incredible dilemma. They have to weigh the testimony of a confessed liar, Kayla, against a mountain of circumstantial evidence in Adam's own long history of violence. After weeks of absolutely disturbing testimony, they finally reached their verdicts.
In the end, the jury believed Kayla. Adam Montgomery was found guilty of murder and sentenced to more than 56 years in prison. He will almost certainly die there. As for Kayla Montgomery, for her testimony, she got a plea deal on the perjury charge. And in May of 2024, she walked out of jail, a free woman.
So Adam Montgomery is behind bars for the rest of his life. But for Harmony's loved ones, for the community that searched so hard for her, this case isn't really closed. Adam has never, ever revealed what he did with her body. And to this day, Harmony Montgomery has never been found.
The criminal case might be over, but there's a much larger question that just hangs over everything. Beyond the horrific actions of one man, how did the very system that was supposed to protect this vulnerable little girl fail her so completely? How could she be placed in the care of a known violent felon and then just be allowed to disappear for 2 years? That is the question that truly remains.